Yo, Facebook fans, Twitter fans, IG fans, battle rap culture. This is What to Talk About Radio, and I'm your host, Jim Jeezy, top motherfucking mob, man. And tonight is Wednesday. And y'all know what's rocking on Wednesdays. My segment is Making It Make Sense. And tonight's topic, we focused on the brother Kaba. King. God. All the way woke. You know what I'm saying? When I tap in with certain individuals or other brothers, should I say, other of my kind, other woke individuals, other people who, have a better understanding of life and what it should be and what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I tap in with him. I make sure that, what he's saying makes sense to me. Because that's all that matters in life. Whether y'all got to understand them that or not. It's all about what makes sense to you. Fuck how another motherfucker feel or what they think. If that shit don't make sense to you, it just don't make sense to you. So take what makes sense to you, apply that shit with what, you haven't stored into your own brain, and then apply that shit to your life and move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? We all know what should be done out here, so, do it. But like I said, tonight we tapping in with the brother Kaba, He's been putting some very deep information out there to the universe, and I'm just gonna piggyback on that as I do, as I should. You know what I'm saying? And mind y'all, like I said, I tap in, I get an understanding of their messages, and then I fall back and then I present the shit to my platform. So it's like we all getting an understanding of who the brother is at the same time, because I'm not fully tapped in with him, as if I, really studied the background of what he do. So, basically, we all tapping in with him at the same time. But I do know this. The brother is fully woke, and he has a better understanding of life. So, I'm going to present that.
Team Packer, definitely in the building. If they like, they're going to ask questions. But I ask you guys to reserve your questions after I get through to the interview. As you can see, there's many dope people in the building. We also have almost 100 people on Instagram right now. So we're going to be doing the damn thing. So I kind of want to get a little background from you before we start with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So where are your roots from? Coming up, and how did you get into education? What sparked that knowledge in you to make you want to teach the world?
Okay. Well, first, my sister Cha-Cha, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to the community. I really appreciate and I respect the work that you're doing, getting this information to our children and to our people. So much prop to you for doing this kind of work. And, my background comes from New York. Born and raised in New York, grew up in the Amsterdam projects down by Lincoln Center. My father's from Alabama and my mother's from Boston. So those are my roots as it relates to my family. And culture was always a part of my family because prior to my name, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, my name was Booker T. Cole. Yes. And so nobody ever mentioned my name, even Dr. Clark, who I consider to be my teacher. The first thing he told me was, Booker T, you're going to be a great teacher one day. Even though, Sister Cha-Cha, I wanted to be an astronaut at the time you told me that. So it's interesting how things are so prophetic that you actually become the name that you were named, even though at young you didn't realize.
Peace and blessings. And
so what got me into education, because I was into communication. I was into radio and I was into television. And I went out to Gary, Indiana, as a weekend disc jockey and a production manager.
It's crazy that he mentioned Gary, Indiana, because like I said, I don't know if y'all really be taking me serious when I speak on certain shit, and I don't even know if y'all be having an understanding of the approach that I have to putting my messages out there. It's because I'm trying to reach a certain crowd of people, So in order to reach a certain crowd of individuals, you have to relate to them. You may have to speak their lingo and all of that to get a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? So Y'all gotta like really listen and tap in and be turned in to the message versus what you see. You know what I'm saying? And I tell motherfuckers that all the time.
For a newly acquired radio station, WLTH in Gary, Indiana. And while I was there, the teacher from Roosevelt High School.
But yeah, like I was saying, as far as he's tracing his roots. Basically, letting her know how he traced his roots and how he know who he is and what he's not. Me tracing my background and my roots to my ancestors went back to Gary, Indiana also, just to let y'all know. And this is my first time watching this. Like I said, I tap in with people. I get a better understanding of the message that they're trying to deliver. If it makes sense to me, I say, all right, that brother got to understand it. I'm going to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So I do this. So it's basically like we're tapping in with him at the same time.
That taught, is the all-black high school in Gary, Roosevelt High School. The teacher that taught radio and television went on sabbatical, so they asked me if I would be interested in filling in for him for the year. And because my production job started at 4 in the afternoon, and because I was a weekend disc jockey, I was open during the day. And I said, this is a great way to learn the community, be around the young people, get sensitive music. And, I could bring New York to Gary, Indiana. And it was in November. And a brother, now this brother, just the background information on this brother. And remember, my job is really in communications. I'm just filling in for a teacher that went on leave. And this brother came to me with a form to be excused the next day from class. He was going to court. And it was a serious offense. And the brother used to come to my class clean every day. He was my best student. He did all my work. He was never late. And sometimes he'd even stay a little bit later just asking a question or two. And I said to him, brother, you're my best student. You got everything going on and you're never absent from class and you're always on time. I said, like...
For those who don't even got to understand what he's trying to break down right now, because I pay attention to the messages, you know what I'm saying? He's speaking on the brother. He was a substitute teacher before he became who he is today. He's breaking down the reasons why he became what he is today, who he is today. You know what I'm saying? And he's breaking down the story with a kid that was, attending the school that he was in. Mind you, I get the message. So he's basically saying that this brother was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He was in the streets. He had things going on. You feel me? But this brother would only attend his class when he came to school.
How could he said, well, things happen. And I said, but you're always in school. He said, well, I'll be honest with you. Your class is the only class I come to. I come in second period and I leave right after or right before third. And I said to him, why? What is it about the class that draws you? And yet you still could be confronting these types of challenges. And he said, because I honestly feel that you respect me. And that I can be who I am when I'm with you.
You feel me?
Sister Chaka, that turned me into education. I left my job. In fact, the program director and folk made me write out a letter of resignation because he said nobody would believe that you'd be willing to leave. I was getting paid 5 times the amount in communications in the radio station than I was as a teacher. 5 times the amount. But I was so taken back by this brother that it could be simply to respect the young brother. This was high school. Simply respecting a young brother and coming to him with respect and honor, yet at the same time, as an adult, as a teacher. I could have had that impact. I said, that's my life.
Hey, listen, man. This is how I know who I am. Can't nobody tell me nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? I got a better understanding of who I am, my purpose in life, and all of that. You feel me? That man just said the respect part. That's what drove him to that brother, the respect. You know what I'm saying? And I tell y'all that all the time. We have to learn to respect each other's thoughts, right? We're going to break more down. Because I did watch the beginning of this. I ain't watched the whole thing. I just started watching it before I did the show, just to tap in with him a little bit more. But I watched the beginning of him, so I already know what he's speaking of right now.
And so I resigned from radio and television, came back to New York in 1979 and started teaching. And I stayed in South Central Bronx, District 9, for 31 years, 3 months, and 15 days.
Wow, and counting.
And counting.
Yes.
So he resigned from a job where he was getting paid 5 times more than what he was getting paid
And shout
when he
out to
quit.
another fellow Harlem night.
Just
I'm
to
in
teach.
Harlem right now on the east side. So much love and respect to you on that, you know. So, you know, and that resonate with me because I feel like currently in the school system now, a lot of young black boys don't have a lot of people that they can look to that can relate to in the system. You know, it's oversaturated with people from other cultures and ethnicities that don't come from the same struggles and backgrounds, especially from young black boys. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of our youth go into the school system with their own baggage, whether it be coming from the household or from society. And, you know, when they're in the school system,
And that's why I say, man, you never know what somebody may be going through. You feel me? We judge people so much without even having an understanding of why they are the way that they are. You feel me? We be quick to call a motherfucker crazy because they murked out in class or some shit like that. You feel me? Oh, what's wrong with him? He's crazy. You don't know what happened to that man earlier that day before he came to school. You don't know the situations they may have had to deal with in a household before they came to school that gave them that attitude, and then somebody triggered that. You hear me?
Spend a lot of their time there away from their parents and having that primary instruction coming from the system. And to be in those institutions and not having somebody to relate to or being targeted, you know, because I currently homeschool my kids. And, you know, I have them write journals. And one of the most profound things one of my sons told me was...
Listen, I gotta keep pausing and piggybacking. I don't know if y'all was in the chat with me or whoever in here that really be turning into Jeezy and when I be speaking and shit. I said some shit before about I don't feel like we need to send our kids to school to allow another motherfucker to teach us something that we already been taught. Even though a lot of that shit is bullshit, you feel me? But at the end of the day, why do we need to send our kids to a school to allow strangers at the end of the day to tell our kids what to do when we already have an understanding of what to do and what it is? We know what to teach our kids for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Our knowledge with their knowledge is different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the way they think. If I was a school teacher, I would not be teaching what they're teaching in schools. I would definitely be letting them know about their history, finding out who they are, tapping in with who you are. You feel me? That's what I would be on.
Was, you know, that he noticed was black boys were getting more detention than their counterparts. And
shout out
that
to my
wasn't
brother
nothing
Hawkins, man.
that was
Peace and
inspired by
blessings,
me,
you know, the love is real,
because, you know, I'm very pro-black and, you know, always noticing or trying to show light of the unfairness in society. But that came straight from him. And I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? For you to be 11 years old and able to understand and notice those type of differences. So if my son was facing that while he was in the school system, I'm pretty sure many other black boys are facing that. And even during that process, don't have a counselor or a teacher or anybody to voice those concerns to within those institutions. So yeah, kudos to you. I salute that.
Absolutely. And you know, in my career in the Board of Education, because, you know, I've had some hard hits. You know, I've had some students that was just, you know, they wasn't having it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it, but I never sent any child to detention, and I never called for anybody's parent to come in. Because what I used to tell those brothers, I used to...
You hear that, bro? He said, as a teacher, you know what I'm saying, when kids act out, he never sent nobody to detention, and he never reached out to nobody's parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, man, when I be tapping in with motherfuckers, bro, I promise you, I be feeling like my energy is different. You feel me? My energy, we all are energy. You know, energy don't die. It's just like, come on, man. But anyway, I tune in with certain people for a reason. My energy draws me to certain individuals for a reason. Let me say that. Even with those who I deal with on social media on a day-to-day basis, it's a reason behind us being connected. Y'all might not understand that reason right now, but I do. I understand why every last one of y'all are connected to me, because I know who I am.
Sit down. And sisters too. Sometimes sisters get a little there too.
Besides themselves.
Yeah, they do. But I approach sisters differently because of the energy that's coming forward. But I basically tell them the same thing. Because I can, because I tell the brother, I say, look, man, I know everybody be calling your grandmother because your grandmother wanted to get power. They can call your mother and father in, and I noticed that, you don't necessarily adjust to them. But when grandma come in, I see she got the power over you. And I said, I know I could call grandma right now and dad would come over here. And I know that you would have problems and you'd be very unhappy. I said, I know I could send you to detention. But I'm preparing you for prison if I do.
Yes.
Because I want you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and not because you're afraid that grandma gonna come up in here or that I'm gonna put you in detention. Because detention is junior high school prison. Understand? This is like Rikers in school.
What? Hey, brother, making it make sense. That man said detention is like junior high school prison. Is that a fact or no? Does that make sense to y'all? Because I swear on everything I love, it makes a lot of sense to me.
And I don't want to start your mind set on doing the right thing because you're afraid. Because that's the reward and punishment the system has you under that eventually will get most of us in prison, because the reason why we do the right thing is not because it's the right thing, but because I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me if I don't. You got to do it because it's the right thing, brother. And I'm asking you, man, stop interrupting my class when I'm teaching. Because I'm trying to get information to you so you can move. Here's another thing, Chacha. I had a number of these experiences. But I taught every class, every grade, and every subject in my career. And when I was a social studies teacher, I taught...
This is a brother that has a lot of fucking knowledge. You hear me, bro? And man, I said I taught every grade, every subject. Come on, man. This is why I turn in to certain individuals. I want to get a better understanding of things too. I don't want to have to go through them. Y'all know who the them are. I had to get, you know what I'm saying? Fuck their information. Their information doesn't even resonate in my brain anymore. For the most part, it never did, to be honest. I never followed by none of their rules and regulations. None of that has to do with the government I ever adapted to. Like, even as a kid. So it was like I said before, at that time, I didn't know who I was. Now I do.
Middle school. And in this particular 8th grade, you're teaching American history, George Washington, and all the rest of it, right? And so the students said to me, Brother Kaba, this is boring. I said, yeah, this is boring? How boring is it? They said, Brother Kaba, this is really boring. I said, how boring? They said, Brother Kaba, this is boring. George Washington, apple tree, cherry tree and all that nonsense. I said, well, multiply that by 10. And that's how bored I am teaching you this nonsense. But I got to get you to pass this test on Friday. And I made a deal with him. I said, here's a deal. Give me 20 minutes to teach you what you need to know to pass this test. And then I'll spend the rest of the 20 minutes teaching you what you need to know about George Washington and about that pedophile Thomas Jefferson. I'll teach you what you need to know. But let me teach you what you need to know to pass, because you got to get up out of here. You don't play basketball using baseball rules. It's not the baseball rules are bad. It's just that it's not the game. Play the rules to the game to get where you got to go so you can get what you need to have. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now, my sister, I have students that contact me now that remind me of things that I said to them when we were in the classroom. Like another thing, I never had brothers take their hats off in my class. I didn't care if they wore their hats. But I told them, I said, if you see the principal, you better snatch that hat off. But when you're in my class, I don't care if you wear it. Because I don't know why I would tell you to take your hat off, except understand this. If you're going for a job, you better take your hat.
So why? Because he have a better understanding of the approach that he has to take when it comes to drawing in a certain audience. The same thing that I said to y'all earlier. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to draw in a certain audience of people, you have to take a different approach. And you may have to adapt to their lifestyle just to draw them in. You know what I'm saying? And once you draw them in, then you can give them a better understanding of life. You know what I'm saying? So I get what the brother's doing.
Hat off. Because that's a social custom. They say, well, why we have to take our hats off? Because that's a social custom. And social customs are going to be what gets you your job, that's going to pay you rent, put food on the table, take care of you and your family. And there is a social custom that says men take their hats off indoors. I can't tell you that you're going to get sick. I can't tell you that you're going to forget things because you have your hat on. There's no reason why I tell you to take your hat off except it's a social custom. Know when to have it on and know when not to have it on. But when you're in my class, I don't care who asks if you wear your hat. But if the principal come up in here, make sure you take your hat off.
Yes.
Making it make sense right now.
Before we move away from your experience as an educator in New York City, I mean, we're not going to give off your education, of course not.
Brother from New York City,
your experience in the school system, I want to ask this one important question. How was it? Was it a real struggle trying to teach your curriculum as opposed to the standard core curriculum that the Department of Education provides the school system? You know, because as a homeschooler, I know that there is a core education I have to make sure my kids know. You know, I may have a little bit more freedom because to teach them the real truth about certain things, but I know the institutions don't. They have a pretty much cookie cutter and go by the exact rule for the most part. And I know in some cases, as Black educators are in these institutions, they have to walk that fine line and highly mask the truth in the situation, like, you know, subjects like if you're talking about Christopher Columbus or anything like that. So was it much of a struggle trying to implement true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as opposed to core curriculum from the Department of Education and gearing towards their standards?
My sister, I live in what might be called, the way I think, I call it a plantation mentality. When we were on the plantations of this hemisphere, we learned the way of the European. And we manipulated and navigated through our lives to get where we are now. That's what I did. Struggle. I knew it was going to be a struggle just by the nature of what I was trying to tell the children compared to who I was working. Because there was a part of my career I was an assistant principal, and also I was director of social studies. We had 35 schools in my district in the Bronx. And I developed a curriculum for the social studies. 3/4 of the teachers repudiated my work. But it was the 1/4 that I worked with. I used to give sessions and teachers wouldn't show up. I didn't care. I didn't care. I only wanted to talk to the ones that was ready to do this.
You hear me? And that takes me back to, you know, what I say all the time, even now. You know what I'm saying? The fact that anybody is willing to turn into me when I'm live or whatever the case may be, that shit don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I'm here to do is to present the message. You feel me? Keep pushing the message. And when it's a deep message that I feel like we all should know, things that I feel like we all should have a better understanding of, I'm going to promote that to the universe. While y'all out here promoting bullshit, fuck shit, drugs, guns, gangster gangs, and all that bullshit that makes no sense and have no substance in this world at all, I'll be doing this. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see who come out at the end.
See, that was my approach. And those that didn't come were afraid to say they didn't come because they would get in trouble. So they didn't know what I taught. So I kept quiet, they kept quiet, and I was able to work with teachers that wanted to do this. Because I don't have time, Sister Judge. We don't have time to deal with some of these knuckleheads that are out here. People that don't want to teach our children their culture. Let me tell you something, as far as I'm concerned when it comes to knowledge and wisdom. Right information taught wrong is worse than wrong information not taught.
Right.
In other words, what I'm saying is that I have noticed that I worked with some teachers that had no interest in teaching what I taught. Yet they were mandated to do it, but they did such a bad job, I wish I had never even encountered them in the first place.
You hear me? You hear me?
So I've always worked with people who are ready to make this move. And I've always negotiated it in the sense that for those of you with all that big mouth that don't want to come up in here, you shut your mouth or I'll report you. And if I report you, your money will get docked. And if your money gets docked, you know what's going to happen.
On a deeper level, though.
So you want to be flipping that.
I hope y'all don't think by him saying I'll report you, that's like on some old police type shit. Now this brother's speaking on a whole other level, you know. I get it. I get it, King.
Come to my workshops, that's okay. I don't care. I really don't want you in the room anyway.
Yeah, we don't need none of that energy.
Say that? Yeah, no, because we have to do this, Sister Chacha.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, we have to do this. Going back to students outside of our culture teaching our children, great majority of them are young women of European descent who basically couldn't find anything in their lives to do, and they went to school, got a college degree, and they eventually became teachers. But they didn't want to be a teacher. They didn't have the passion to be a teacher. They just wanted a good benefit plan and a job to pay money. And so, in my thing, they say to me, you know, are you telling me that white people can't teach black children? I don't say that. Because I've had the opportunity to meet teachers of all different cultures that were phenomenal teachers. Phenomenal teachers. They could teach math. They could teach reading. They could teach science. They were good teachers. I don't say they should not teach our children. I say we should.
Mm-hmm. Making it make sense.
I'm a firm believer of that as well.
But, my sister, we must do this ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not every group, the Irish, the Italian, and Europeans of Jewish faith. When they became the dominant people, children in the school system, they took it over. In order for the Irish community to teach their Irish children, the Italian community to teach their children, for the European community who is of Jewish faith, teach their culture to their children, they had every right to do it. Now it's our time to step up since our children are in the majority. It's now time to clean house and to become our children's teacher. And you know, my sister Georgia, my first license is in her.
I appreciate you, brother. You hear me? I appreciate you for being the voice, you know. Something that I may have been afraid to do for a very long time because I didn't want what came behind it. But, you know, the fact that I am the little guy now, you feel me? And I like being the little guy, you feel me? Don't give me too much attention, but give me some attention. You hear me? I don't want the extra attention, but I want your attention. You know, because I know what the extra attention brings. And I'm prepared for that shit, too. You hear me? I'm fully prepared for that shit, too, because I know who the fuck I am. You hear me? I know what I am. I know what I stand for. I understand my purpose. You hear me? I am a God. I am a king. You hear me? And I stand as one. And I'm going to present these this information to the universe. When brothers like Kaba is presenting that. You feel me? Shout out to the sister as well.
Early childhood. I started as a kindergarten teacher. And I could write a book alone on my experiences with 4 and 5-year-olds who saw me. Now, mind you, the great majority, if not all of the meetings I went to in my career when I was a kindergarten teacher, not only was I the only man in the room, I was the only black person in the room.
Wow.
There were others where there were black women kindergarten teachers. But when I was there between 79 and 09, I was the only black man in the room. And I'm telling brothers...
And that's sad because that's early education. You know, that's some of the most informative years that set these children on their path. That early instruction is very crucial. So I totally get it.
That's right. Because when I left high school in Gary and I decided to become a teacher, I said, where could I be most effective? And I said, let me get those babies before they put the nonsense on their brains. Let me be what implants their pride, their courage, their dignity. Let me be that person. My sister Chuck.
And I have a better understanding of that as well, you know. And I was telling my sister this, you feel me? Because I noticed that a lot of the younger generation adapt to me for some reason. For a long time, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I have a way of adapting the younger generation to me. So that gives me the leverage. You feel me? And my way of drawing them in is relating to their struggles, relating to the things that they speak about. But at the same time, I'm drawing them in to help them receive the bigger picture, which is the message. You know what I'm saying? And there's always a message within everything. There's a good within the bad. You better have a better understanding, man. Everything that's bad ain't bad. Everything that's good, not good. That's something that they installed into our brain to make us feel like that's what it is. That's not what it is.
I could write a book on children, of the children that I had in my class. And mind you, teachers spend more time with children than their parents do. And so I had children, they say, you remind me of my daddy. You look like my daddy. Can I call you daddy? To which my response is, I am your daddy. I didn't bring you in, but as long as you're in my presence, I'm responsible for you. So I am your parent. In Africa, every adult male is called Baba. Every adult female is called Mama. And it is our obligation to be that adult instruction when we're with you. So yeah, I am.
Well, you know that the etymology.
Okay, that's like new to my ears. You hear me? He said every adult male is called Baba, every adult female is called Mama. So it doesn't matter if that's your child or not. If they're in your presence, you know, they look at you as their child. You're their protector. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get that part too. Makes a lot of sense. Whole lot of sense. If the whole world, well, I can't say the whole world as a whole, but us, you know, if we were to have a better understanding of these things, let me say that, you know, we'll be able to move accordingly, you know, the correct way, you know, kick down those doors that should be kicked down, you know, go ahead and wave those artilleries and take back what belongs to us. I have a better understanding.
G of pupil is actually orphan, so it kind of makes sense if we really look at it.
Yes, that is it. And you see, I want our brothers to become kindergarten teachers. Because when I go into classrooms and I do staff development, and I see a brother in the room, I make it my business to tell him, and like if he's kindergarten, first grade teacher, I say, you have such an impact on those children in your class. You wouldn't even have to open up your mouth and you're going to have an influence on them. Just seeing a black man in authority in that classroom does so much for a 4 or 5 year old black child, I'm gonna tell you,
that's even playing a leader role. You know what I'm saying? Even what he's saying right now, that's playing a leader role. Being a teacher can make you a leader because you have people who are listening to you. You have people that's paying attention to you, taking heed to your words. You know what I'm saying? That in some way that makes you a leader. So it's like once you gain that, you can draw them in any direction you want to draw them to. You feel me? Once you gain that respect from someone and they tapped into you, fully tapped into you, you can lead them in the right direction. Let's make it make sense, man.
another story. I'm a teacher, Chacha. I got a lot of stories. So,
Okay.
Shout out to my brother Larry Stacks, man. My brother, I didn't even see y'all pop up, man. Shout out to my brother Larry Stacks and my motherfucking nigga Drippy in the building, LVO. Big LVO shit, you hear me? Love is love, brothers.
And most bus drivers know that these young people.
I mean, hey, bro, if y'all want to come up and speak on the topic, I don't mind. You feel me? But you know, I be tapped in on Wednesdays, my nigga, making it make sense, giving them that knowledge that need to be given. You feel me? Expanding my purpose, should I say. You hear me? So, you know, on Wednesdays is all about that knowledge, brothers. And I'm definitely giving it to y'all. Just pay attention. You feel me? If anybody want to come up and speak on that, let's do it. Shout out to my brother Drippy, man, LVO on this bitch. Hey, you know what's crazy, Drippy and Larry? This brother from New York, Kaba, he's from New York City. You feel me? His history, his roots, everything that he's speaking about, you know, started in New York City. You feel me?
Going to school. They just don't have the right bus pass or something like that. And this one bus driver, his brother, kicked the brother off the bus because the brother couldn't get
Gang.
Big LVO shit.
Big LVO, you know the vibes.
What's the word, my brother?
Ain't shit, bro. I might have just dropped some jewels and shit for me, drop some knowledge and shit for me. What niggas plan is for me. Niggas plans though for me, we gonna go up though, real soon, for what I'm saying. All this dissing and all that shit, feel me, it's all for a reason, feel me, cause y'all gonna see real soon, everybody gonna look up to us real soon, you feel what I'm saying? And then we gonna switch it up on them, we gonna show them that, feel what I'm saying? It's more, my fault, I'm smack. My fault. We gonna show them it's more than just being outside, cause being outside in the streets, that shit gonna get you, feel me, into trouble. If I experience that. Feel me? You just gotta stay out the way and just be you and be the best you. Feel me?
The best you, man.
You and just be you.
Yeah.
You don't gotta be like nobody else. You don't gotta jack no games. From saying, you just be on point. Like me, I'm on point. All the time y'all see me, I'm on point. I'm on live with you, but I'm on. Feel me? I'm on 50.
Oh yeah, as you should be, Ken. As you
all the
should
time.
Be. Yeah. Yeah.
Feel me?
Hey, let them know what that LVO stand for too.
Loyal vibes only. Loyalty versus oppositions.
You feel me? you feel me? And I'm with that. Big LVO. I'm repping that. Big Lord. You hear me?
As you should, gang. So, yo, what's good, my heart? How you doing, gangy? You know me. Chillin'? My boys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man. Chillin'? You went to the court today? Yeah, you'll be out tomorrow.
Hell, y'all fuck that, bro. I have my daughter.
Nah, you good, gang. Tomorrow, I'm out there. Feel me? You show love, you get love.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I tell them all the time, brother, whatever energy you present to the universe, you will receive.
Yo, what's up, my heart?
No matter what you go through in life, bro, long as you present that positive energy to the universe, you're going to receive that shit, bro. It don't matter if you
go through different shit every day.
Oh, yeah. But guess what? It's all a part of our path, though. There's a reason behind everything.
That shit gonna make us stronger, smarter, everything. No
yes, sir.
This.
Yes, sir.
And another thing, what I'm saying, don't never doubt God. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yes, sir. Hey, listen, they need to understand who they are.
That's a fact. Heavy on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie.
If they understand who they were, you feel me? They wouldn't even have to know nothing too much about God. You know what I'm saying? If they understood that they were God.
That's a fact.
You know,
That's a fact. Heavy on that.
We're gonna get that straight up, man. We all are creative of creation of him.
Niggas don't know that this street shit, bro. This shit more than what it look like, bro. This shit trash. Like, niggas gotta be on point. Niggas gotta violate niggas. Niggas gotta get in trouble. This shit whack. Niggas ain't even want this, but you know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do, try to do. If you can stay out the way, just stay out the way.
Yeah.
Word.
I mean, listen, if you put in a situation where you have no choice, brother, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But as far as being out here and just promoting that type of energy, no.
Nah,
but if that shit come your way, you feel me? And you ain't got no choice but to do that, do that. You feel me? Because I'm gonna do that.
That's what I've been. That's the type of I've been on. I'm not gonna lie. I've been on that time and like, well, if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. But like, I also been on the time and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the reason I fake been dissing the ops extra is because truthfully, but when they see me and I see them, it's up already. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna already violate each other. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I might as well have fun and diss these niggas. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
I mean, but at the same time, bro, it's like this. Like I told you before, bro. If you on a higher level than these individuals, why even entertain that shit? You feel me? Like, we don't know about them. We know who Drippy is. We know what LBO represents. We know that. We don't know who these individuals is, bro. So why even feed that energy? Why even give them that? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? If it was me, you want some advice from me, you already know it's real love over here, bro. So I tell Larry Stacks all the time, I done hit that man checking on you. And you can ask, I done hit Larry checking on you plenty of times, bro. So, you know, the love is different. So, I wouldn't entertain that shit, bro, because I see something bigger than that in you. You feel me?
I appreciate you, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but when I be disrespect, I'm not gonna lie, when I get this, it should be funny, bro. Like, it should be fun, bro. I'm telling you, it should be funny. Like, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna release music, and then, you feel what I'm saying? You're gonna see what I mean. You're gonna see.
I already know. I'm pretty sure I already know what type of time you was on without you even had to tell me, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, yo, Drippy, bro, you gotta drop this. But how you doing, though? Everything go with you?
Man, all is well, my brother. I'm blessed.
How's your son?
He good. Both of them here right now and shit, but one across the hall and shit.
Tell myself what's up.
One of them playing the game.
Yeah, I'm not even going.
You know they rock with you heavy, bro.
Yeah,
I was playing some of your shit, I think, yesterday. Soon as they hear your shit come on, they be like, oh, that's Drippy? That's Drippy? You know, I plays your shit, bro. I definitely plays your shit. Even when I'm around the house with some regular shit, cleaning up, whatever, I'll be playing your shit, bro.
Nah, that's some real shit, but I appreciate the support, bro. That shit mean a lot. No funny shit. We're gonna go up the watch, I promise you. Watch when we come to your city, too. Come to your city,
listen,
bro.
I was about to say that, bro.
Stage with us.
Whoever come where first, I'm trying to tell you, if I get up there first, I'm definitely spinning, my nigga. You hear me?
Yeah,
I'm definitely pulling the fuck up with my brothers, man.
Hell yeah, we gotta make a movie. Yeah, I might have called you when I get out this. Yo, my Instagram banned, bro, so I be going live on my backup, if anything. You feel me? That's why none of my viewers joined in, because they're not sending it out because I'm banned.
Right.
But if anything, I'm gonna hit you up when I get to the crib, because I'm outside and shit. I'm on point and shit.
All right, bro. Peace and blessings,
buddy. Yeah, so,
love is love, my nigga. And shout out to my brother Drippy, man. Big LBO in the fucking building, man. That's the bro. You feel me? If y'all ain't tapped in with him, definitely go follow, bro. He got fire music. You feel me? He's definitely up now. Fuck up next. You feel me? Shout out to bro, man.
They said, you know, that's not valid. Why are you coming up here trying to mess with me? He said, you have to get off. So the brother got off. And then what happened is that when the brother got off, and then I kept going, I moved up to the front of the bus. And I introduced myself to the bus driver. And I said, you know, brother, I said, I want when the brother got on, he was trying to get on without. And, he started telling me about how they do this every day, and they think they're slick, and they're trying to get over. And I said, but brother, I want to tell you something. I said, you may not realize this, but I'm a teacher. And one thing that I know for sure is that you might be the first black man that those children encounter in their life every day. And how you react to them and how you interact with them is very important. I said,
Caleb, shout out to my brother Caleb, man.
I realize
Day one love, bro.
Has on a black child.
What up, my brother? I appreciate you too, bro. I meant to hit you and tell you that, but I've been busy when it comes to the days that I gotta run my show. You feel me? But I appreciate you, Kane. I'm giving them that knowledge right now, Caleb. You know how I do, man. You feel me? This is the brother Kaba, man. He's from New York City, but he's definitely one of us. You know what I'm saying? And what he's promoting to the universe definitely should be heard. You know what I'm saying?
Black boy. And I said, I just want to make you aware of this, just in case you're thinking. Because if you could bring that brother on and instruct him on the right way to do it, because he's going to school. It's not like he's not going to school. And
Stacks, I was just asking for you, Stacks.
And he heard me. Okay, end of the day, go back. Okay, I'm on the bus again, and I noticed that brother is outside. But when he see that bus driver, he know he gonna get kicked off.
Hey, Stacks, I was just saying something about you to Drippy and shit, right? Like, and this brother from New York City, too, if you want to tap in with him. You feel me? To get a better understanding of what I'm trying to promote to the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just doing my part, bro. That's all. I'm just doing my part, but just a brother by the name Kaba and shit, man. He's the king. He's definitely fully woke and all the way there. You feel me? And the energy that I got from him was definitely felt. You feel me? What he's presenting to the universe, the message that he's putting out there is deep. You feel me? He get deeper than this. I'm just giving y'all a little taste of what it is. You feel me? If y'all really tap in with bro and watch his videos and watch what he's promoting on Instagram and all that, he got a book too. He has a book that's out. You know what I'm saying? So definitely tap in with him. Hey, Caleb, you already know I love you, bro. Day one, I'll say that openly. You hear me? I'm a man. Me respect men. That's my brother from a childhood. You feel me? Elementary school on up. You hear me? He can tell you about me. He can tell you about Jesus. He probably one of the only people on this motherfucker that can really tell you about me.
So he's not going to try to get on. He's looking for the bus driver that he can always get over. And so the bus driver, when the brother sees him, the bus driver sees him too, and he sees him. He said, no, brother, come on over here, man. Come on over here. And so he said, come on up. And see, the brother gets up, Sit over here. No, because the brother was going to go to the back. No, sit over here. I want to talk to you. And so we started talking to the brother. And he said, come on, brother, you know that. If somebody tried to skip the line on you at lunch, how would you feel? He said, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You come on the bus, you say, sir, I don't have my bus pass. I have a fake bus pass, but I don't feel like using it. But I do need to go to school because I'm going to be late and get in trouble. And so the brother dropped it on him, and pretty soon the younger brother, you could see that he was getting it. And afterwards, I went up to the, then the brother gets off where he's going.
Man, you know what's crazy? That really happened to me before. I swear. I tried to get on the bus with a motherfucking fake pass before and shit, right? He got caught up, the bus driver pulled me up. Like, man, look, if you would have just told me the truth, you feel me, that, you ain't had the money or you didn't have a pass and you wasn't able to get on the bus, I would have allowed you to go ahead. You feel me? He said, man, you can go ahead, but next time, man, just be honest. You gotta learn from your mistakes. I learned something from that.
And then I'm getting off, and then I get up, I come up to the front, a few stops in front of where I'm supposed to get off, and I explain, I said, brother, miracles happen today. Yes. I said, you've impacted that young black man for the rest of his day. He's going to remember you. Mm-hmm. From now on, you might be the one person that turns him around, and he'll go to the office and say, look, I need a new bus pass. This ain't good.
It shifted his core. You know what I'm saying? It impacted him to where it shifted his core, and in turn will shift his behavior moving forward. So, people don't understand that. So, I kind of wanted, since you're talking about...
listen, knowledge is everything, man. You feel me? Knowledge is everything. You feel me? You cannot judge people based off of their actions when you don't know the reason behind their actions. Conversation rules the nation. Jay-Z said that years ago. I always say this. That's a fact. If you were to really sit down with an individual and really talk to them and get a better understanding of who they are, and why they move the way they move and what they done in life, you feel me, then you'll have a better understanding of them. That way we can have a better understanding of life as a whole. You feel me? I'm playing out here, man. Y'all better start tapping in and start really listening to these woke brothers that's trying to present certain messages to y'all. Instead of y'all looking at it like, oh, he just on some preaching shit or this, that, and the other. No, you better pay attention. Pay attention.
About educators, and we're talking about people, and I know, and I want to, and this question is really for Team Pack Up. Shout out to everybody on Team Pack Up stage listening right now. Yeah, so they've been talking about aliens, right? And before, when we first started talking, and when you was describing yourself, you said you wanted to be an astronaut, right? And we know that the Dogon tribe was very smart and beyond their years. They were into spirituality, into astrology, into that kind of thing. But there is also
remember I told y'all, we all are a part of a tribe. So all that extra shit they be trying to promote to y'all, man, don't listen to it, man. Tap in with your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Do your history on your ancestors and really find out who you are and what your background is. I know who I am. I am definitely an Indian American. You know what I'm saying? That like, you know, no disrespect to no other races, but I know who I am. You feel me? I can't tell you who you are. You have to tap in with yourself. But I do know we all represent a tribe. You know what I'm saying? And it's very powerful. Each tribe has some sort of power behind it. Tap in.
I guess you would say theories out there that may feel like the Dogon tribe and other tribes of Africa that was very highly intelligent may not be of this world, so to speak. So can you speak life to that? Can you let us know, are they of this world for real, or are they our star seeds or things like that?
Okay, here we go.
You took a deep breath on that one. But we're ready.
Well, you know, my sister, I'm going to drop it according to my research.
Okay.
Gotta do your research.
In terms of study of the language, the study of the psychology. See, psychology is not the study of the mind. Psychology comes from the Kush Kemetic word sakhu, which means soul. Psychology is the study of the soul, not the study of the mind.
What? Talk to him.
So that what I want to do is
a study of the soul, not a study of the mind. Like, but listen, it's deeper than what you think. Like, I'll be wondering why I never paid attention to a lot of shit that was taught to me, even in school. I promise you, it's a lot of shit that it went in one ear out the other. Like, it wasn't meant for me to know these things. You feel me? I understand life the way I understand life. And that's all that fucking matters. You have to understand life the way you understand life, understand your reasons for being here and your purpose. That's all that matters. Nothing that has anything to do with any other individual besides you does not fucking matter in this world. It doesn't. Your thoughts are all that matters. The way you move is all that matters. Move accordingly, though. Understand who you are, understand your purpose and your path.
Step back, because in my book that I wrote, Spirituality Before Religions, I break this concept down so that folk can somewhat fathom how deep this is. Rap music is built on the same thing that the Dogon were talking about as it relates to the metaphor. We, people darker than blue, we black folk, we are of the earth, but we are made up of those things in the stars. We are starlings, not earthlings. We did not come of the earth.
We are starlings.
The earth is what concretized.
He said we are starlings, not earthlings. Come on, man. You're making it make sense.
Us, that shaped us, that organically shaped the animals, the plants, and the human beings. And so it's important to understand the role that nitrogen played. But carbon Carbon is what organized hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and brought it all together to create organic life on Earth. So when the Dogon were talking about coming from there, they're right. We do come from there. We are children of the sun. We are light, heat, and sound energy that is shaped within a physical body. However, we are of the heavens. We are not of the planet. The planet could not give life. Life comes from light, heat, and sound energy of the sun. Ra. Ra, the image of the sun, the light, the heat, the sound energy that is emanating from. So when the Dogon were speaking of that, because keep in mind also, not only were the Dogon phenomenal astronomers, they were also as great agriculturally. So as above, so below. So when they found the secrets of the earth, they found the secrets of the heavens. And when they told their story, they told it in metaphor, comparing, just like we do in rap. We do the same thing in rap, maybe different words, maybe different context. But basically what the Dogon did is took what they knew and presented the concept and in things that they did not know. In other words, that which you know can unfold the truth as to what makes.
Bro, I say this shit all the time. Even with this brother here. I may not believe everything that he's presenting to the universe, but I'm going to take what makes sense to me and apply it to the things that I know and make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's how you go about life. Stop trying to be like the next motherfucker and be you. Be alright out here, man. You'll have a better understanding of life if you knew who you are, who you were.
So when the Dogon was talking from coming from outer space, they were not necessarily talking about physical beings. They were talking about starlight and star power. And when they looked at the Sirius A and the Sirius B systems and were able to chart these concepts, that they were able to see a star, Kizi Uzi, that the Western world would not see until 1971. And not only did the Dogon see that star years ago, they also understood how it traveled around Sirius A, which is the bigger star, Chiripolo. And then the little teeny dwarf star was called Botolo. And Botolo revolved around Sirius A, but it was that little star that kept A on its rotational path. How could they see that without a telescope? Or did they have a telescope? Were their eyes telescopes? So that when you're dealing with aliens, I believe that Western civilization always wants to get into aliens when the information gets close to the fact that it's black people doing this.
Yes.
And I've always felt that the further back you go, the further black you get.
Yes.
And so when they get to their research, where they begin to see the fundamental absolute genius of African people, that's when they got to give credit to alien beings. Because if we understood exactly who we were and how genius we are, if we could balance things. So some people say, oh, the Dogon, no, they were wrong. There ain't no aliens coming. And then there are other people that say, no, they talk about aliens coming here. What I'm saying is you're both right. But within the context of what you're talking about, yeah, we did come from out there. We are bits of light, heat, and sound energy encapsulated in this thing we call body. This body comes from the earth, but the spirit that makes us comes from the heavens. So yeah, we did come from out there. But in the English language, alien means not of this world. It means something outside of this. No, we are not only outside of this, we are this. And as long as they can keep our eye off that prize, they can tell us anything.
Talk to him, brother.
Yes. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to open at least 3 questions for Team Packup, because that question was inspired from a room that they are conducting right now. And that's what made me feel compelled to share this interview with them, because we've been talking about this topic for a few days now. So I want to give them the opportunity to be able to ask you questions. I'm limited to 3 because I still have my full-length interview that I want to conduct. Mikey B, if you could, at least 3 people who's willing to come off their mic and want to ask them a question pertaining to this. Okay, so I just asked, because I know you have people on here. Just please be very respectful, and let's get to it. So anybody, I'm limited to 3 because I want to move forward. I have a long list of questions.
Listen, man. I did my part. I presented that message to the universe. Peace and blessings to the brother Kaba. Peace and blessings to the sister Cha-Cha. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I am here as a messenger. That's all. I'm not here to really teach y'all. I'm not here to really be anybody's friend. But if the energy connects, the energy connects. I'm only here to speak to those who have a better understanding and give a little bit of knowledge to those who don't, to give them some understanding. You hear me? I speak like I speak because I'm trying to draw my attention to a certain crowd of people. Like I said, I always had the gift. I just didn't know. I always adapted. Well, the younger generation always adapted to me for some reason. So that's who I'm here to speak to. Love is love, peace and blessings to all. Shout out to the brother Kaba. Shout out to the sister Cha-Cha. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I will be tapping in with you guys more often and receiving more information from you and presenting that to the universe. I most definitely will. Peace and blessings to all, man. This was What the Talk About Radio. I'm your host, Jim Jeezy, Motherfucking Mall. This is Making It Make Sense, and we made it make sense. If you didn't get an understanding, you can always go to the YouTube page and tap in. Love is love, man.